How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Craic podcast. How is everybody doing today in the studio? I say everybody, but we're down a man. Where is he?
Shea isn't here.
He should be here, but he's not because he's running late.
Just didn't show up.
Didn't show. He's not committed.
Didn't show up. The commitment isn't there.
The commit, but
We will now be taking applications.
well, for another host. Who? Anybody want to join? Well, Aaron, you're here. Aaron made it, which is good.
Aaron's seeing an opportunity.
Aaron's committed.
Yeah, I'm looking to be a full-time host in the Here's the Craic podcast.
The salary is zero, but we will provide good vibes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clearly not good vibes enough saying our third co-host does not want to be here, but anyway, it's fine. Sad times. But anyway, for those listening or watching, you're with me, Tommy, and our producer, Aaron.
Hello.
We'll kickstart the podcast by getting into Strange and Startling.
Here we go.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about girl maths.
Girl math.
So
Remind everybody what that is again.
basically, like things girls do, like girls maths. So like, I'm trying to think of an example.
Is that the one if you paid in cash, it doesn't count?
Yeah,
Weird.
cash is free.
Cash is free.
If
Makes sense.
if you're gonna buy something for £50,
Mm-hmm.
but if you spend £100 and get free shipping, you're saving money. So you spend £100. Stuff like that. If you don't remember, go to our TikTok and you'll find it, or go to whatever podcast
Episode
it is.
133, I think.
So yeah, okay. So girls have replied and they've been like, boy maths. So I've got some examples of boy maths. Boys have also joined in.
What do you mean girls have replied?
So like girls have sort of been like annoyed
on the
about
clip?
it. Not our clip.
Oh, right.
But just at the whole thing in general.
Yeah, fair enough.
So first one, 5'10" is 6 foot.
Bollocks. No, it's not.
That's boy maths. Relatable.
Yeah, it's only when you come into like accusing.
Like if a boy's like 5'10", he'll be like, I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
Thinking he'll get away with it. Like.
Yeah. What height are you?
5'10". No,
6 foot, bro.
I think I'm 5'10", 11 maybe.
Nice. I actually do think my maths is a little bit skew if when it comes to my height, controversially.
Oh.
Because he stood up beside me the other day. Now, you say you're 6'2".
I think. I haven't measured myself in a while.
What concerned me slightly, I think you were wearing your big chunky Gore-Tex Air Force Ones, which makes me think you had a couple more inches on me. Not inches, maybe millimeters. But you stood up beside me and I kind of went, oh, maybe I'm not 6'2". Maybe I'm like 6'1" a bit.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm like 6'5".
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe I'm 5'10".
Yeah, moving on.
Anyway.
Buying 3-in-1 shampoo is better than buying shampoo, conditioner, and body wash.
Fair. I mean, if you can get it all done in
Why are
one
you
wash.
shaking your
I
head?
disagree.
Financially,
Maybe I'm a
better decision. Financially.
He is a very one thing I've came to realise about Aaron from getting to know him this past while. You take great pride in your scent.
Yeah, and my hair. And
This
my beard.
man, you know where he shops at for his scents,
I
rituals.
don't even know what that
No
is.
expense spared.
Don't know what that is.
You know the proper
It's like a
like
spa
candles,
brand.
spa brand.
fucking well,
My
for some.
shampoo.
Like Lucinda got me some rituals for Christmas. She was like, I thought I'd treat you to some rituals. Then I discovered this guy shops at it all the time.
Shampoo, body wash, deodorant,
The
all
whole
comes
thing.
from
Wow.
rituals.
Learning something.
And
new
that's all from
every
the
day.
big bucks I get paid at Here's the Craic podcast.
Okay. Biomass is getting 6. Can't speak. Biomass is getting 6 texts in a row and only replying to one.
That's fair.
I do that all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Biomass is having a 70-inch TV but no dining table.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was me in uni.
That's relatable. Biomass is not going on dates or buying flowers because it's too expensive, but going golfing every weekend with the boys.
I love how we're like looking at each other because we know
Oops.
we do this.
Yeah, we've all done that.
The women have spoke.
Biomass is saying you don't know how to do the washing, but spending 3 hours cleaning your car.
Fair.
Biomass is referring to a sports team as we.
Yeah.
Even though you're not part of the team. That is all.
I do agree with the.
Can you think of any you do yourselves? Any examples?
The only one I don't do is the shampoo 3 and 5 in 1 bullshit.
I thought that
Yeah.
was relatable.
I would say,
There was a money one, but I had it in my head, but I can't think of it now.
to be fair, I can't relate to the washing one. I would wash the car, but I would also be quite like a big advocate for sticking on the washing machine, like and doing. I hate like we have like the cupboard in the hallway now,
Yeah.
and when you open it and the basket's over full, I'm like, can't be doing with this, but it's okay.
No,
because-
sir.
Can I make
Yeah.
a confession?
Yeah.
I don't do any washing.
What do you mean you don't?
I don't wash any of my clothes. I think I haven't washed a single piece of my clothing in 5 years, minimum.
Jesus.
Holy what?
Yeah.
I very rarely do washing, like, but I do put the odd wash on.
Good for you.
Tell you what, when Liv had COVID like 2 weeks ago, I did put a wash on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, you have to
Hung
do.
them up and everything. Like.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be all like, oh, I'm pure clat, because I know there's areas of life where Lucinda takes over. But like washing's pretty easy, lads. Like
I'm not saying it's hard.
No,
just
no,
don't
yeah.
do it.
I'm not challenged in the act of washing.
But then when
I
you do,
fucking hate doing it though.
when I do the washing, I get told off because I do it wrong.
What do you mean you do it wrong?
That's the wrong setting. Oh, don't put them in the dryer. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm just like,
So
here's me trying to
here's the
do
thing.
help out in the house.
Here's a thing I'd like to know, and hopefully someone who's listening to this or watching this can be able to answer the question. I'm slightly confused because we got a new washing machine the other day, and I was exploring the modes on the washing machine.
This podcast has went to new
But
levels.
but whenever I went into
Wow.
the modes, like, you know the way on a washing machine you have temperature and RPM.
Okay, it's not a. Is it a fucking Formula 1 car or
No, but you
what
have-
the fuck's going on?
You have, or I think it's less.
McLaren washing machine.
Yeah, it's like revolutions per minute or something. I don't know. But I went into it, and like, so for like, there was one that I chose, like something like, I don't know, quick and easy, put it that way, and it was like 30
Not
degrees.
the first time you said that.
But like, it was
Oh.
it was 30 degrees and 900 RPM,
Yeah.
and I'm just using these figures. I then went on to sports mode to wash,
Sports
to
mode.
specialize in sports.
Your washing
Like,
machine has a
yeah,
sports mode.
it has like for sports clothing.
Okay.
It's a new
I
washing
think,
machine, bro.
this sounds more like a car than a
So
washing
I
machine.
then went in, clicked it. It was also 30 degrees and 900 RPM. So what's the difference?
It'll be the time it's on for.
Maybe the time, but I
are
mean,
you
See,
talking
I
about
don't
the
even-
revolutions?
yeah,
Because if it's a higher revolution, they'll see, I'm not that useless at it. If
The
it's-
washing machine
if
expert.
if it's a higher revolution, your clothes will come out really wrinkly. So it's really handy for like towels where it needs a wee bit of a deeper clean, and it doesn't really matter
You
if they
seem
get
to know a
wrinkly.
lot for someone
But if
who
you put a
doesn't do the
t-shirt
washing.
in on the highest revolution, it'll come out more wrinkled
yeah. But
than
the
it will in
point,
the middle.
but the point I'm trying to make is though the different modes. You know the way, like, so the point I made there is it's like, you know, a mode that could be like delicates is 30 degrees at 900 RPM, and then
Oh my
sports
God.
is 30 degrees at 900 RPM. So what's the difference between them two modes?
Could it be the length of time, or could it be
He just said that.
the pauses? You know, the
I
way
don't know.
pauses and shit.
I have a revolution. This podcast has went to shit because we're talking
see-
about washing.
I know, but it's not a washing. It's not about the washing machine. It's the principle.
Moving on. Lad Bible. What are you
Lad Bible.
saying?
Yes. So I came across this the other week. So this is ridiculous.
Okay.
A man who is breastfed by his wife insists it's not a kink. Right?
Okay.
Let me read that again. A man who is breastfed by his wife insists it's not a kink. So, a man who's been breastfed by his wife for the past few years has insisted that it's not a kink, and he does it because it makes him feel better. 30-year-old couple Alexander and Rachel from Florida, of course they're from America, were high school sweethearts who got together right after graduation and have been together for 12 years, being married for half that time. The couple have 3 kids together, a 7-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter, and 2-year-old boy. During the time, Alexander ended up being breastfed by his wife. How does that work? Ended up being breastfed by his wife.
Obviously, the kids have been breastfed. And
Obvi-
he's like, I want a bit of that.
Yeah. So
I wanna
How
try
does that
out.
conversation come up? Like?
so being breastfed by his wife, and they've made it a regular habit for about 2 to 3 years.
Jesus.
Speaking to Lad Bible, the couple explained that it wasn't a kink, despite that being what everybody always asks. Rachel explained, so this is how it started, because we're all dying to know.
No.
It started on a cruise. I was fully breastfeeding my daughter, but the cruise was child-free. So when I realised, oh no, I forgot my breast pump, I went 3 days with engorged breasts. I was scared out of my mind to get mastitis. That I probably butchered that, which is an infection in the breast. And so his family member suggested, why don't you just drink the milk and just enjoy your trip? At the time, we thought it was funny, but it ended up, it'll be something that we do. He enjoyed the milk, and we went from there. Alexander said he drank from his wife's breasts because that was the best way for it to come out, and explained that it felt good while he was drinking, describing it as a vibe.
Oh my god.
So here's the two of them here, and he's holding the cup of her breast milk.
My guy. Wow. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to say.
Like,
have you seen that? Have you seen Bad Neighbours?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh yes. Is that that's the one where
He's
like
milk me. So it's similar to that situation, but it's just continued on.
At one point, he was being breastfed by his wife 3 times a day, but they've since toned it down to maybe once a week.
What's he be? Does he not have a job? Like,
Once
he's
every
just coming home, he's like, "Fucking, I'm starving." Hey.
Apparently, it makes him stronger mentally.
Wow.
But what I would love to know is, like, despite that, I appreciate that, obviously being on holiday and stuff. But if a family member was like, "Oh, here, away on there and take us up,"
Probably should have came to an end after the cruise. Not gonna lie.
like, it just makes me. I seen it and I went, "Do you know what? There's 2 schools of thought here. A, what have you been doing? How have you been? How have you got to this position?" The second part of it is, from a realistic perspective, when Lad Bible reaches out to you, you'd hardly go, "Yeah, do you know what? Take photos."
How did they find that? Like where did this come out of? Like Law Bible. Imagine being that guy. You hear this is a story.
Yeah, it was the same. There was a news article once came out. I think it was the wife. So basically, it was a couple from here, and they were barbecuing on the beach with a disposable barbecue. Right.
Where's this going?
So they were barbecuing on the beach with a disposable barbecue. They then were finished with the disposable barbecue, and I think, from what I can remember, I could be wrong, but he then proceeded to get up and stand on where the disposable barbecue was.
Yeah.
And obviously, with it being on fire, he burnt his foot.
Yeah.
So he went running to the sea. Now, if you'd have done that and Brona was there, or if I'd have done that and Lucinda was there, or if you'd have done that and Liv was there, it would have probably been a bit of a, "Oh, you silly tit." But the wife then contacted, I forget, it was a newspaper, to basically raise awareness for people not standing on sand after you've been barbecuing on the beach. And the amount of people who were commenting and being like, "Well, obviously," was unbelievable. Like, I think at that point, if I'd have been in his position, where, to be fair, accidents happen, but if the wife turned around and, if Lucinda turned around and looked at me and goes, "You know what I might do, Ross? I might contact the local paper to try and raise awareness because you were a silly tit and stood in sand that had been barbecued on," I'd be like, "No, you're not, because you're going to make me look like an absolute..." But am I not right? Why would you... I don't understand why people feel the need to reach out and be like, "I'm going to spread awareness." Just please don't.
Blocking attention.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Please don't.
Here we go.
Anyway, welcome to the next part of the podcast, Community Crack. Aaron, you have been looking.
Hello.
Yes.
I've been looking.
Hello.
Hello.
What the fuck? We done a question box on Instagram.
Yeah.
Asking about conspiracy theories.
I think this came off the back of the clip that was
Yeah,
posted.
This was actually someone that commented on our clip.
You love that
actually.
clip, don't
Yeah,
you?
I love that
Yeah.
clip.
It's sitting on 145k on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's spiked up
fucking
with the
well.
amount of abuse you've got.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
What abuse.
You're
I
just
saw.
reading the comments every night, crying yourself to sleep.
So
like.
basically, Aaron asked in a podcast 135, he basically asked, "What's the wildest conspiracy that you might actually believe in?" So if you want to go and listen to that, go back. But we posted one of the clips where Aaron basically says that conspiracy theory that you controversially might believe in is the Just Stop Oil one. If you're
Yes.
looking more information, go back and watch that podcast.
Everyone took that very well.
Yes. But from then, the plethora of people who have been coming up with their own conspiracy theories has been a bit mad. We'd like
Yes.
to delve into that
So,
more.
Here's a guy that commented on that clip, actually. He's called Fanboy. I'll not give his full fucking name out.
Fanboy.
But he's called Fanboy.
Found by NOVU.
Yeah, and he's actually listed 3. He's actually listed 3 conspiracies, but one of them is... The first one, actually, is the Titanic never sank.
Right.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm pretty sure too. But I did do some research on it, and it's starting to make sense. So,
What?
yeah. So,
Aaron's
Did
looking
James
for another
Cameron not literally go down to the bottom of the ocean and have dinner on the Titanic?
now,
Pretty sure he
wait
did.
till you hear this, right?
Pretty sure.
Aaron's looking for another clippable moment.
Let's
here.
go back.
But
Let's
if you
go
look
back.
at the facts,
Let's go back to the early 1900s. The
take me back.
owners, one of
Yeah.
the main shareholders of the company that created the Titanic or owned the Titanic as a vessel, was J.P. Morgan.
Okay.
Oh,
And
Oh, you on the podcast, Aaron?
let's just keep that in the back of our minds for now.
Yes.
The Olympic, right? I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever heard of the Olympic. That's Titanic's sister ship.
Sister.
So it was built around the same time, but it was finished before the Titanic.
Yep.
It went on a sailing expedition
Yep.
to New York and back. And on the expedition, it got damaged and it had to return to Belfast to get fixed. Cost quite a lot of money.
Okay.
They then fixed it up, and then on its next voyage, it got fucking damaged again. Right? Sent back to Belfast, needed it fixed. Conveniently, this was about a week before the Titanic left Belfast. Right? Turns out, the cost to fix the Titanic, or the cost to fix the Olympic, would be too high to make anything profitable anymore for the Olympic. So, what did they do? They solved two problems in one. See, because some of J.P. Morgan's biggest rivals were going to be on the Titanic on its maiden voyage.
oh my god, I think I know where this is going.
So they switched everything over and they made the Titanic look like the Olympic and the Olympic look like the Titanic. So they sailed the Olympic, pretending it was the Titanic, into the middle of the ocean, fucked it into an iceberg and sank it to collect the insurance money because it wouldn't be profitable anymore. And while doing that, killing JP Morgan's biggest rivals in business.
Holy fuck.
So this is the conspiracy.
When you started that, I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to be so shit. And that was amazing. Oh my god.
Do you know how I knew he thought that? Because halfway during it, I heard him go,
Holy fuck. Is this,
Wow.
where's this all came from?
So then, does that mean, so basically they've done the old switcheroo, so the Titanic was technically the Olympic, but the Olympic is now, the Olympic is still the Olympic is still,
So the
no, the
ship,
Titanic is the Olympic.
The Olympic
so they did a
is the
switch.
Titanic.
They did a
Yeah,
switcheroo.
but it was broken.
Yeah, so
And then the original Titanic is now labelled as the Olympic.
What all happened at then?
Is it not in Belfast?
no, that's a different ship.
Ah,
But the Olympic, I believe, if I remember correctly, it served fairly well. It went through both World War I and World War II.
Nice.
And then it became like I think it became something to do in France. And I think up to the end of its life, it became a restaurant on the River
Very
Seine
good.
in Paris.
People are going to hate you for this though, because of how big the Titanic is.
see,
The whole tourist industry
Yeah.
in Belfast relies
Well,
on the Titanic.
if it means anything, the Olympic was also built in
The
Belfast.
Olympic Museum,
So
does it sound the same?
I think it's less the ship and more the story. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
they
Yeah.
both looked
Where
very
was
similar.
this-
They were just slightly different
Where
sizes.
did you research this?
Type
Is this
it-
like
type-
a
typed it-
well-known
typed it
conspiracy
into-
theory?
There's a lot of articles about it. Like,
Yeah.
there's actually multiple
Just-
conspiracy theories about the Titanic.
If I can also put this in, we are talking about conspiracies. Just because he says it doesn't mean he believes. You don't believe in it, do you?
No,
I think he does.
no. There's,
Well,
there's
he said he
Not
doesn't
as
believe.
confident as a response I would have liked.
What's
So
next? What
there's-
have we got else? What else?
Okay,
have we
so what
got?
else do we have? We have that. This is actually from the same guy. He listed his top 3 conspiracies.
Mhm.
Same guy. This is number 2.
Was this guy one of the guys
This
that
guy-
commented?
There's one of the
Knows
guys that
his shit.
commented on the clip.
Love that.
Yeah.
My guy.
Birds aren't real.
Aye, that's,
Okay, I
yeah.
think it's time to end this segment.
What little DJI drones.
Okay, so birds aren't real is a conspiracy theory which persists that birds are actually drones operated by the United States government
Oh my God.
to spy on American citizens.
See, that sounds
See,
like
that's-
just an American guy who like fucking chases aliens. Like, just
Yeah.
came up with that.
I suppose the biggest debunking thing of that is we don't live in America and we
Yeah.
have birds.
We have birds outside of America. That's
What about-
Yeah, move on.
Oh god, let's just not even entertain that.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so
What was the other one he suggested?
that we live in a simulation.
Right, okay.
Right, the first
He
one was
started
good.
off so strong. And there.
I know. Just stop while you're ahead.
Was it? Did you look into any of the ones from the comments?
Yes.
The box thing.
So we asked
The community.
the community on our stories yesterday.
Community crack.
So one was fun because it's not really. It kind of is. It is a conspiracy, I guess. American candy shops in the UK are a front for money laundering.
We've had this conversation before.
She's on.
No, we've had this conversation. There's some shops in city centre in Belfast where I'm like, how?
Have you ever been to London? Fuck me.
No.
Hey, some of the tourist shops in the centre of London, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What are you doing?
What are you
What are
doing
you
there? So what's this? Have you actually looked into this then?
Yeah. So
They're selling the old booger sugar.
it is in London. So mainly we're talking about London here. I think it's Oxford Street in London. Apparently something like half of the shops on Oxford Street are all like American candy shops. And it's like, well, how the fuck is this a thing? I assume you've seen it yourself in Belfast, pop up American candy shops. You're like, how are these guys keeping business? They actually raided one in London not so long ago.
Okay.
And they seized £100 million worth of drugs.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So
That's not all. That's
Important
not
that we
tar
should
them all with
tar
the same
everybody
brush.
with the same brush.
But here
If
we
you're
are.
a genuine, honest American candy shop dealer, if you consider
Dealer.
yourself the Willy Wonka of Oxford Street, we're sorry. We're sorry that these people are coming in and ruining your fun.
That's mental.
That's mad.
yeah, so it's actually a thing. It's not really a theory anymore. It is
Wow.
true.
Okay.
It's just a front to sell drugs
Mm.
and e-cigarettes. One of them had £10 million worth of e-cigarettes.
Why was
What?
that a front then?
Probably because they're
Is it not just an?
They're probably
is it
not
not just an
illegal
E6 shop then?
no,
Yeah.
because you have to pay mad tax and duty and stuff on them, and
Yeah.
they weren't doing that. So there you are. And they
Okay.
found them all stashed in hundreds of suitcases.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow.
Fun.
Fair enough. I was driving through a shop in an undisclosed location recently and watched a minor in a school uniform come out of a random newsagent's undisclosed location unpacking an e-cigarette, and I thought, surely, I mean, it doesn't take 2 and 2 to go, you're definitely not over 18. Is it over 18 to buy
So that's
e-cigs?
over 16 now.
Is it?
Don't
Hmm.
know.
But anyway.
Maybe it is over 18.
Kept them, shouldn't be.
Is there anything else you want to go over, or is that it?
What was the one someone commented about the chemtrails?
Yeah.
It was a bit weird.
So someone commented that Connor
Nice.
commented that chemtrails, they're scary as fuck and very real.
Okay, so
Right,
clearly
what-
Connor's concerned.
What is
Connor
this?
is concerned. Now, I haven't done a lot of research on this. So I'm just going to read it to you here. The chemtrail conspiracy theory is an erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails left in the sky by aircraft are actually chemicals consisting of, are actually chemtrails consisting of chemical agents sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. So things like population control. So they're actually spraying poison basically into the atmosphere to
Did you
give
know-
people diseases.
Do you know whenever you look up at a plane and you see a wee trail behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just thought I'd catch you up to date.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
That's a bit weird.
It's
I
a
mean, it's a
bit-
bit far-fetched.
It's a bit dark, like.
Yeah. A bit far-fetched. The bird one's ridiculous.
That's just no. Just stop. Stop it.
Please. Please no more.
Yeah, so they blame the sort of more people getting cancer and all the rest of it on the fact that there's more airplanes in the sky spreading chemicals basically through our atmosphere. So
I find that hard to believe.
It must be really not, I was going to say sad. I don't think sad's the word, but it must be so tiring to be one of them people who now I'm not saying government's unbelievably great,
Yeah.
but it has to be tiring to be one of these people. You just know, you've probably came across them a lot in life. They're like, it's the government, they're out to control us, they're out to get us.
yeah,
It must be very tiring.
it's like a sort of just because you don't trust the government doesn't mean that everything the government does is some sort of doesn't mean everything is out to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same time, I don't know, it's not really, it's just that sort of weird conspiracy. I know, I'm pretty sure I've told it on this podcast before, but whenever I used to work in Carphone Warehouse, the amount of people who, as soon as the news dropped that Huawei, the phone brand, who were massive at the time, like their growth was unbelievable. Like they were really like giving iPhone and Samsung a run for their money, which at the time was like, holy moly, this is big. But I remember that, and then the news hitting a month later that Huawei were obviously came from China, and they were, you know, had Chinese components in them, and basically I think it was Trump or something said, oh, they're using that to spy on you. And the amount of people from like Northern Ireland, you know, who were coming in to a shop in County Antrim, like our shop in Ballymena, and being like, I want to return that because I've heard that the Chinese have planted listening devices in that. And you're just like, what have you got to offer the Chinese?
Oh, no.
What is Xi Jinping fucking
similar
wanting to
to,
do?
Like what I don't understand that.
It's similar to like the whole TikTok thing then.
Yeah.
Similar thing.
Exactly.
But like people are like that with like Alexa, like having Alexas in
Yeah.
their house, are like, don't want people listening in on my conversations, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. It's
you
fine if
fucking
you're
laundering money
it's
for the
fine if
Mexican
you're-
cartel.
yeah.
Like what the fuck?
it's fine if you're high up in the White House or high up in government.
If
Like, realistic, but
if you're
that's
the
it.
Prime Minister, maybe don't have an Alexa.
Yeah.
But Ross Evans
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Ballymena,
Yeah.
who's listening in?
That by fuck, hey.
Telling
I
you
hear what
something.
goes on in that house.
Yeah.
How do we a bit more look at the chemtrails thing?
Okay.
So I find this fucking hilarious.
All right.
So
Aaron's believing in it.
they, I'm not believing in it.
He's being converted.
Stop saying that, because all of them will think I am, and then slag me off in the comments.
You'll be walking through the streets of Belfast, there's a conspiracy way.
I'll be walking with Aaron in the morning to work playing for an hour, like, fucking get
Get in the house.
Ross, the chemtrails. Start raining Aaron's like, chemicals. I'm burning.
Half of you hate the fact that I believe in it, and half of you hate the fact that I don't believe in it enough.
I'll never do anything right.
Anyway,
Okay, obviously, if you have any other conspiracy theories, if you're listening to this right now and think, oh my god, guys, you need to look into this, drop us a DM, send us an email, whatever you want to
in
do.
general. We'll be
and
putting up question boxes every week, I assume.
Yeah, we
So-
want to get this community crack going and make you part of the podcast. So send your stuff in.
Here we go.
Am I the asshole? So
Back again.
we're bringing it back again. So basically, I've got a couple here. So Tommy, you have to answer. Aaron, you get in this as well.
Sure
Am
thing.
I the asshole? Up first, we have this guy. Notice. Okay, repeat 3939. Am I the asshole for telling my parents that if they give my brother money, I will stop giving them money? So this is a female, by the way. So my female, she is a female, 32. Her brother is obviously male, 35. And just to set a principle, he is trash. So he has multiple baby mamas and is a deadbeat. He also is the apple of my mum's eye. He can do no wrong and is just misunderstood.
Yeah.
My parents are retired and on a fixed budget. I do well for myself and I help them out. I give them maybe $500 a month to help with groceries, bills, utilities, etc. Every once in a while, I give them a little bit extra for an unexpected expense. I don't ask any questions. My mum asked me for $2,000. I sent it to her, didn't ask any questions. Strangely enough, I ran into my brother at a family wedding. I had been told he could not afford to attend because it was a destination wedding. I found it weird. Funny story, he actually missed the wedding because he hooked up with some rando on an excursion and went to their resort. It was our cousin's wedding and my aunt was super pissed. She had to make special arrangements to get him included on the trip since he only got the money last minute. She said my mum shouldn't have give him the money if he wasn't even going to show up. Then she shut up as she saw the look on my face. So basically she realised the aunt had let the cat out of the bag. I enjoyed the wedding and had a great time. When I got home, I went to see my parents. I asked my mum why she had asked for the $2,000. She lied and said something for the house. I asked what, she couldn't say. I told her what my aunt said. I told her and my father that from now on I wanted receipts for any money I give them. I said I have no problem helping them, but I will be damned if I work my ass off for her to give my money to my piece of SH1T brother. She started crying and my dad said that they weren't children and didn't have to answer to me. I agreed and walked out. I didn't talk to them for 2 months. My aunt called me yesterday and told me that my parents were thinking of going to the food bank since they didn't have any money. I said I had given them $2,000 a couple of months ago, and that was more than my family of 3 spent on food on that time. She said I knew damn well they had given my money to my brother. I told her that he should probably pay them back. She said I was being a horrible bitch. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I think
Holy shit.
I think there's a couple of things in there which, to be fair, like, I think you really need to sort that out with your mum and dad. If you're giving them money and they're like asking for $2,000, they're clearly reliant on you. So I think the dad's got it wrong. You know, it comes to that classic thing where it's like, right, well, we raised you. You know, we got you to where you are now. So I think you have to take that into consideration. But at the same time, if you're forking out, I think the £500 a month thing's nice. If you're a high earner.
Like, at the same time, it sounds like she doesn't live at home.
No, she said my family of 3, so she's clearly
when you started the story,
either
I
a
was
single
like,
mum with 2 kids, or she's married with a kid.
Yeah. When you started the story and you're like, oh, 500 a month, I was like, she must be living at home. Fair enough, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a weird one, like, because you know what Americans are like, and parents are like, in terms of like paying tuition fees and shit. But like, I don't know. I think you shouldn't really be paying your parents money every month.
Chances are, if the brother's a bit of a deadbeat, like, she's had to sub in because the parents are subbing in. So realistically, no matter what way you think about it, your money's being funneled into your brother. So let's just get past that, you know what I mean? But the $2,000 to fly the brother over for then him to turn around, she's clearly been like, that's the last straw.
Yeah.
So she's clearly funded the brother to go to the wedding, and then he's arrived at the wedding and then just went, you know what, I'm going to hook up with this other person, not actually attend the wedding day. So I don't think you're the asshole.
I don't think that reaction, like, the parents are clearly too over-reliant on the money.
Yeah.
And I don't think the parents are in the wrong for Lan, but then at the same time, has she reacted a bit extremely?
What do you think?
I think the $500 a month she's paying to her. I think that's a nice thing to do. If your family's was a low income family for whatever reason, maybe they were for whatever reason, and they don't have a lot of money now, and you've now made it. I think it's nice to give a bit back. But the fact that they lied to you to get $2,000 is a lot of money. Like, I would find it difficult if my mum turned around and was like, I need £2,000 like now. I'd be like, fuck. Right.
Way to ring Ross.
Ross is the money. But yeah, that would sit. I would probably react similarly. I'd maybe handle it better. I would definitely communicate more. I wouldn't just flip the table and walk away.
I personally think if I was in her position and given my mum and dad £500 as a gesture of, you know, I'm a high earner, I can afford it, this is what I want to do, that's your personal decision, I wouldn't be going and asking for receipts from them.
No.
However, if my mum randomly came to me one day and went, do you know that £500 you're giving me a month, I need an extra 2, I'd be like, what's this for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you're completely within your right there. But if you've made the decision that you're going to sub £500 a month, you can't be asking for receipts. It's like, do you know what I mean?
It's a nice thing to do. But then you could argue, like, she's trying to be all like high and mighty, like, oh, I give them the £2,000, didn't ask any questions. Yeah. But then she's getting annoyed when she finds out where the money went, and it's like, clearly.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit naive just to hand over $2,000, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
she clearly, I think the fact that she really doesn't like the brother is playing on that a lot. Like.
Yeah. But
you're
not the asshole.
I can relate. So
anyway, the other one. Am I the asshole for going on vacation without my husband? Oh dear. My husband, who's a 32 male, and I, a 29 female, planned a week vacation to New Orleans in the US. We, but mostly I, have been planning this for months. Back in March, I told him I would plan most of it. Where to go, what to do, all he had to do was make sure he had the week off work and buy the plane tickets. I spent the last few months researching what to do. I booked the hotel room, made reservations at places we wanted to try. I also made a list of all the sites that I wanted to see. Every few weeks I would check in with my husband to see if he had asked the time off and bought the tickets yet. He would say he was waiting for the plane ticket prices to go down. 3 weeks ago, I reminded him again, and he said he had got off work for the days but had forgotten to get the tickets. He looked online and the tickets were close to $1,500 a ticket. He said he was going to wait some more time to see if they would go down. Last week I asked if he had bought them yet, and he said no. We looked again and the prices were still quite high. He said he wasn't willing to spend that much on them and asked how much money I would lose if I just cancelled everything instead. He offered to have a nice staycation because I spent so much. Basically, he asked if they could have a staycation instead. She told him, I'm not willing to cancel everything because I spent so much time planning it. We argued. We didn't come to a conclusion. I wound up buying just one ticket for myself. When I flew out Saturday, I told him I was still going. He acted all surprised that I didn't want to stay home with him. I am in New Orleans now. He's blowing up my phone saying that I am the asshole for still going without him. He was trying to get a ticket to come too, but I told him if he came, he's getting his own hotel room because this is now my vacation away from him. Am I the asshole?
Jesus.
I think fair play.
I think there's more problems than the holiday.
Yeah, this seems like a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
But he's an idiot though.
Yeah.
Like, he's a total idiot.
He's lazy.
If you're organising a fucking holiday with your partner, you wouldn't be checking in every week being like, oh, did you book that off? You're like, we're going on holiday. Like, it's an agreement. Seems like a weird relationship. Like.
Yeah, it's weird because like if me and Lucinda were planning a holiday, we would sit down one night and go, here's where we're going. Will we book them plane tickets? Can you get it off work? Okay, book it off tomorrow and we'll book it tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. That would be the conversation. We would do everything together.
Did she book the hotel then?
So basically they were like, we want to go here, and then divvied up the responsibility. So she went off and booked like hotels, sites, all that there, and his responsibility was A, booking it off work, and B, booking the plane tickets.
Jesus, like
a bit disorganized.
It's a very strange way.
Management.
Yeah, you would get in there and you would sort it out.
There would be a spreadsheet.
It's a really strange way of doing it. Like I would never go, right, you go away, like leave and book a hotel, and then I'll at some other point book the flights. It's so strange, like, you know, and
dysfunctional.
Yes, but it's just like I can say, like, say I was working out the same price for the flights and the hotel. Fair enough, you're like 50-50. I'll get the flights, you get the hotel. But like, you don't then go, oh, I'm waiting to get the and then just be like, I'm just not booking the flights because like she's booked the hotel. We're going, like.
As well as that,
like
he should understand clearly how much it meant to her.
He just sounds like a dick.
And not dicked around.
Yeah.
But I think the whole, like, you know, if I was saying, Lucinda, do you want to go away? And she was like, yeah. And then, like, I was chasing up for weeks, months. If you booked that off work, I get round to it. I'd be like, okay, clearly you don't want to go. So, like, why are we wasting our time here doing this dance? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I respect the going as well. Like.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
100%.
If she'd booked the hotel, fuck it, like.
Aye.
Why not?
I'd be away.
The fact that he's trying to book a plane ticket means that he's not, like, he knows he's cocked up, and then now he's willing to spend the money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he clearly had the money there. So it's like, come on, mate. You clearly don't want to put in the effort. And maybe he was trying to, like, do this sort of like Mexican standoff where it's like, is it a Mexican standoff?
Don't know.
I don't know if that's currently the culturally appropriate way of putting it. But
some sort of standoff.
It's definitely
to basically be like, if I wait long enough, she'll cancel everything and we'll have a staycation.
But like the flights, like the prices of flights probably haven't dropped and went up. But like if you'd have booked the flights,
and am I not right in saying
early enough,
if you'd have booked the flights early enough,
it would have
been cheaper?
Yeah.
That's logical.
Sometimes I think they do kind of start a wee bit higher and then they go down a bit. But I've never seen a flight go down that much.
I think Shea has a similar theory to this guy. Like.
Yeah.
With flights, he's always like, "Oh, book him last minute."
See, that would
like,
freak me
I don't
out.
think so.
Yeah, that would freak me out. It's the same thing. Like I once talked to a couple who did like a backpacking trip type thing around America, and they were like, "We didn't book hotels. We just seen where we ended up and went on lastminute.com." I was like, I would freak.
I've heard
out.
that before. Like,
who the fuck was that?
I think it was Lucinda's brother and sister.
Oh, I thought it meant Neil.
No.
I was like, jeez.
No, Neil would.
I was
be
that's not Neil.
40,
I've heard of people before.
40 weeks in
like
advance.
Brona's ones were saying that like like so there's this guy just like goes to Portugal, books the flights, and then just shows up and he just goes around the hotels and he's like, "Oh, do you have a room for the week?"
No.
Why would you do that?
But like when you think about it, like you probably could. Like you could go into Belfast today and walk into any hotel and say they'll have a room.
The
Like
thing of not being prepared would freak you out.
yeah,
Like, would
it's
you do
also-
that? You're pretty. You're
I wouldn't do
you're
it, but like
lax,
I can
but-
see that like you can see that you could probably do it.
Yeah,
like, but
if you were
I
stuck.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
It's probably not cheaper either. So why would you do it?
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's cheaper.
Like if you
yeah.
knew where you were going, why wouldn't you just?
It's just like, oh, I like the look of that one. I'll go there.
But anyway, that's it for this week's segment of Am I the Asshole?
Well,
Okay.
Moving on.
Last but not least, to end the podcast with a question time.
Here we go.
Spider-Man 2, the game,
Yes.
dropping this
When?
week.
When?
Thursday, I think you can play it by if you pre-order it.
Nice.
But it's Friday, it's meant to be out. But yeah, anyway, exciting. Spider-Man, I
You've
think,
been
is one
talking
of the
about this
best
for
games
weeks.
I've ever played. It's amazing. It's unreal. It's so good. I feel like I've said amazing like 20 times this podcast. But like, yeah, really good. So I wanted to ask, what's the best game you've ever played?
oh, this is such a hard question.
For me, another game that's up there, Assassin's Creed.
Oh wow.
Assassin's Creed 2, really good. Brotherhood, good. The whole and it's a story as well.
Yeah.
I think now everyone's so caught up in like online
Yeah.
obviously Battle Royale, FIFA, whatever. But like hard to beat a good campaign. Like
I loved. It's the one game that I can remember spending hours of my childhood playing. Just Cause 2.
yeah,
Loved it. Basically, I love open world
Grand
maps.
Theft Auto as well.
Yeah, I loved open world maps that you were just able to go and do whatever. There was also a game I quite liked. I forget what it's called, but it was basically like a car game. Where you just basically bought houses, but you could like do jobs, buy houses, bigger houses with bigger garages, and buy more cars. And then you like, pretty much it was like life simulation.
Yeah,
It was really good. It was really boring, but it
Need
was
for Speed games as well.
really good. Yeah, I do not know how people like sit on and do like farming simulator though. That would be a bit like.
Shea, where are you?
Would he do
He's
that?
played it before, yeah.
Oh my word.
Or like truck simulator. You're
Yeah.
just driving a truck. You're just.
Is there
working.
not like even like gardening ones now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
there is.
Yeah.
Lawnmower simulator or
there's a
something?
power washing simulator, and it's quite
oh
popular.
yeah. But
A
have
VR.
you- what about the pilot one? There's one that's really big one.
Oh,
People
flight
land and
simulator.
play it,
Yeah. That's an
And
actual
people
flight
play
sim.
it and actually like do the full length of the flight. Like,
Yeah.
like that is insane.
What? Like.
Like if a flight's like 4 hours, they'll fly.
Come on, mate.
Sort
Yeah.
of fuck, isn't it?
I've downloaded it because it's free on Xbox, and I flew from.
Stick it on autopilot. You just sit there and go to sleep.
I flew from. My first flight was from Belfast City Airport to Belfast International Airport, and
What?
my second flight was Belfast City Airport and kamikaze straight into my house, which you can do, by the way. Yeah, it's all 3D modeled and shit.
What happens there? Like, does the house actually?
No,
Is it just cut off? Is it?
I think it just goes like blank and goes. Yeah, you fucked up.
You crashed your plane.
You lost your Boeing.
If
So-
I had to choose, oh, here he is.
Oh yes.
Here he is.
Wow.
Bang on time. We're just talking
I'm
about.
just about to finish.
we're just
We're just
about
about
to
to
finish.
finish. But you've played Farming Simulator, have you?
Yeah.
Is it your favorite game?
Sit down and we'll you can be a part of this question.
Come in.
Turn up his mic and all there.
I think if I was to choose
Is he
the best game,
Jeez.
he's not in frame. I'll put him in frame.
You see the drama you've caused?
Late boy. Farm simulator.
What time do you call this? Like seriously?
Late. I got caught up my fucking site visit to 6 o'clock today.
Sage. This is it. Is he in frame?
So
We're
the
ta-
question was, what's the best game, like video game?
Oh.
And I was saying, because Spider-Man 2, the game's coming out this week,
Yeah.
up there, like, a lot of people are saying it's going to be the game of the year.
GTA San Andreas, the best game ever. Has to
Fair.
That's a
GTA,
strong-
we did mention GTA.
Yeah, that's a strong one.
be. Out of the new ones, which one's your favourite?
I really. Oh, like what do you mean?
I think GTA 4 is so underrated.
Yeah, I was actually going to say GT4.
Fucking
It's when you're
so
like
good,
the
man.
Polish guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's whenever they brought in like the going through the window dynamics and all.
Yeah.
And like the amount of glitches and how fucked up that game was actually made it.
The
the
story for
swings
it was
and all.
really good as well.
Yeah.
The stories are always good though.
And then fucking Roman ringing you every 5 minutes to go bowling. God.
There was Far Cry games are very good,
Not really played them.
but
Far Cry 3
yeah,
was good. I like Far Cry.
It was a big game at the
Simpsons
time.
Hit and Run.
Oh, what a
Oh, it was
shit.
class, huh?
or just had an orgasm.
I have a ritual where I play that every year.
What?
Yeah.
Hit
The
and
The
run?
whole game.
Whole game,
I used to-
100% completed.
I actually
every collectible.
forgot about that. It's such
You
a
know.
good game.
7 levels of it.
You've probably never played this, and I'm going to do you a favour, because you should, and your life is going to change. There's a game called Grim Fandango, and I could probably say that's probably the best game I've ever played in my entire life. It's from the early 2000s.
What are you doing?
Go play Grim Fandango. It's a story-based sort of like adventure game. It's very good. You could probably play it in a night. A very long night. It's like maybe like 10 hours, but like it's...
I have a great game for you. Have you ever played My Summer Car?
No.
Oh my god, it is the most frustrating but fun game ever. Like. You're basically this guy, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you've got like your mum and dad have left you at home for forever, like it seems, and you have this like old wrecked car in your garage, but you have to build it. But like it's properly like building a car, like every single piece, every single bolt, like, and you have to use this tractor to go into town and pick up like parts and shit for it. And the town is like a good hour's drive away.
Are you confusing your life with
The
video game?
Pretty much the same thing, like. But
and do you have to actually drive an hour in the tractor?
You have to drive this wee fucking shitty tractor into town. Like everything, it's so realistic.
Does it
like,
take an hour to do though?
just to drive into town, yeah.
In real time.
In real life, like you've no map,
Jesus
you've no map or
Christ.
nothing. You have to find the town. Plus, there's also this here wee speedboat you can get to like take across the pond. Like it's a
Right.
big pond. Like one end's your house and the other end's in the town. Like. And you can take it, but you have to like fix it and all before you can use it. It's so fucking frustrating. Like. And then you have to go to the shop and like get diesel and all for the car, and then like spark plugs and shit. And
I'd rather die.
It's so
Sounds
frustrating. Like.
awful.
What's it called?
My summer car, and
Oh,
you
I
can
thought it's
you
gonna
can
play
die in
out
it.
there.
Like there's this car you can get, and it's like got a wasp nest in it, but you're allergic to wasps. So if you said like played 3-4 hours of the game, and, like put graft into it, and then
Mm.
you get into this car with a bee's nest, and it stings you, it'll kill you. But that's you dead. Like you have to restart the whole thing over
I
again.
would put my foot through the TV.
You can also piss on the TV, and you'll die. It'll electrocute you and you'll die. There's like loads of ways to die and all, like you can drown and shit. But it's worth a play if you have like a whole week or something.
It's a
free.
tenner. I'm going to play it.
You
I'll record it and upload it to the
You'll,
Craic YouTube channel.
you'll smash your PC up after it. Like it's so
Jesus
fucking frustrating.
Christ. Have we got any other shouts before we end?
No, I'm all good.
Any other like Simpson hit and run ones?
What was the other Simpsons one?
There was
Road
one
Rage?
for the
Road Rage.
PSP
Yeah.
one. What
Road
was that?
Rage.
The Simpsons. Was it the Simpsons movie game or something?
There was a Simpsons movie game that was out in basically fucking everything.
I had the
um,
PSP game. It was unreal.
Need for Speed Underground 2. Lethal.
Need for Speed
Modification.
Carbon though.
Carbon was good.
You
as
ever
well.
played Need for Speed The Run?
Need for Speed Hot.
No.
Oh,
Need
it's
for Speed
unreal.
Hot Pursuit was really good.
I
It's
don't think
when
I
we
ever
always
played
got
it.
chased by the police.
That's the first one place, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
was
really good.
What was the was it what
Gran
was the one
Turismo. It's always a good shout.
Mm.
is it
Yeah.
Underground, the one in the mountains?
Yes, Need for Speed Underground.
Was that
I think
Underground?
that
Is
is
that
a
not
thing. Yeah.
Carbon? No.
No.
Maybe it was
With the
Carbon.
drift and all.
No, it was Carbon, yeah. But Underground was sick. It was like the first PS3 one. It was sick as well.
You don't hear about Dad something here, Aaron?
Tony Hawk,
Oh,
Pro Skater 4.
I never
Yeah.
played
I
Or
was
any
good.
of them. Any of them.
Pro Skater 4 is good. Like,
Oh,
it's
no.
very good.
PlayStation
ACDC,
1.
ACDC,
I used to have it
playing
in
in the
the
background. Oi, oi.
You had to get like
See me right out.
the letters skate or something, didn't you? You had to collect the letters
Yeah.
that spell out skate. It was class.
It was sick. I remember playing it on the GameCube.
The GameCube.
Do you remember that?
You're so
Console.
old.
Sick, like. Such a console. What other game? Skyrim's good.
No, well, actually,
Skyrim is
Yeah.
good. I could. That's probably one of the. If I was stranded on a desert island and I had to pick one game to play for the rest of my life, it probably would either be Skyrim or GTA 5.
Yeah. Well, you have no online on GTA 5 though. If you're stranded.
I would allow myself internet access.
Wii Sports.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
I could play that for the rest of my life.
I've looked up.
Nice par.
What a game. Top best selling video games basically. Looking through them here.
Feel like-
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
On Nintendo. It was good.
Mario Kart, great one for all the family. Like.
Animal Crossing.
Oh my god, I used to be
Never
addicted
played
to
it.
that on the DS.
Actually.
Holy shit, Tom Nook, the wee cunt. You've played it?
Yeah.
He's a bastard. He's a cunt. He like you take your mortgage out and all with him. Like.
The
Oh, he's a
Pokemon
dick
games
bastard.
like are there as
Yeah.
well.
Club Penguin.
The what one?
RuneScape.
Any ones that stand out? That
Did you ever play that Snake IO?
Yeah.
Snake Eyes?
Slavario.
Is it called Solidar? There's so many versions of it. You can
yeah.
just like move your mouse around and
Yeah.
Snake follows. It's a good one to like pass the time.
God of War and Red Dead Redemption.
Does
are up there as
anybody
well.
remember
That's good.
mobile gaming? The Doodle Jump.
Diddle jump.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yes.
Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird. Go back.
What about Cut the Rope?
Oh yeah.
What's that one?
Bloon
It's
Tower
there was,
Defense.
a green monster and there was like candy in the end of a rope and you had to get the
I
candy
got
out
so
of its mouth.
far.
Fruit Ninja.
I got so far in Bloon Tower Defense one time that I broke my iPhone 4 because I went to do the thing where like all the balloons come out and the phone just couldn't handle it. Just shut down. I was like, right, clearly I'm too epic for this.
Pokemon Leaf Green on the Game Boy Advance.
What about Pokemon
Fire
Go?
Red. Pokemon Go. That came on Gold.
Yeah,
That
that came
came
out.
out. I think it's still a thing.
Jetpack Joyride.
Like.
Jetpack
Oh,
Joyride
yeah,
is good. Yeah.
You can still get it actually. I
Yeah.
played it recently.
But anyway, we could go on from here to Kingdom Come.
We're just
games.
listing
if
shit
you do
now.
have any nostalgic games that you think were left out, let us know. We'll maybe bring it back up in the next episode. But apart from that, that's the end of the podcast. We'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.